What the fuck are these things? There's like a swarm of them. Like, I can't get out of the truck without having bugs in my fucking beard. Wow, it's been a hell of a few days. Like, it's had me questioning everything I'm doing. You know, everything I'm doing seems to be fucked right now. It's crazy. So I ended up getting stuck on a short haul load in South Carolina and spent way too much time there. You know, 8 hours to unload half a trailer because of the fine quality workers in grocery warehouses that apparently have to count and sort every last fucking carton while I'm sitting there. And then if that wasn't bad enough, I had returns, so then I had to take the return somewhere. Then they gave me a trailer with a hole in the roof because they didn't mark it or red tag it, and I couldn't see it. It was at night time when I picked it up, so I didn't see the hole in the roof until I got to the customer and they rejected it, so I lost the first load to Florida. Then I went back and got, you know, another load, another short haul, and then got the second load to Florida. That went fine. I got all the way down to Miami, drop and hook, nice and smooth, and then they gave me a load to Laredo, Texas, and I was all excited. I was like, yes, I get to go out west, everything's great, you know, life is good. Well, I get 30 minutes away from where I'm supposed to pick up the load to Texas, and customer cancels it. They pull a load off of me, and so now I'm in the middle of nowhere in Florida, like Lake Go Fuck Yourself, Florida or something, and waiting on another load, which may or may not happen. So I lost essentially a 1,200 mile fucking load. It's gone. That would have taken me to a place that I was happy going. Nice, long, open roads. I'd had to run pretty hard to get it there at the time they fucking wanted it. But that's over now. So here I am now, sitting in Florida. Hot, humid. My thermometer says 97, and I'm surrounded by these insects that I'm not enthusiastic about getting out of my truck and having to fight to not let them in here, because for some reason they're obsessed with my truck right now. Like, I'm literally gonna, when I go into the truck stop to get lunch, it's just gonna be Chester's Chicken. I'm literally gonna have to pull up to the fucking fuel island to help shake some of these bugs off, which hopefully they're not on the fuel island, because I think it's because I'm close to the bush, so to speak. I don't even know what these bugs are. There's like bugs carrying other bugs. It's weird. Hold on, I gotta call these motherfuckers and figure out what the hell this is about. So, I'm struggling to get miles, and I'm also watching my stock portfolio just completely tank. It went down a shit ton again today. You know, I jumped out of Bitcoin because, you know, I've been trading Bitcoin, but I had to jump out for a stop loss today, hoping that it bottoms out somewhere good where I can jump back in. And I don't know, it's all bad. Like, I'm currently down over $800 in the stock market. And it's depressing because, you know, that's a whole week's, you know, almost a whole week's worth of work. Or at least in the Biden economy, it's a whole fucking week's worth of work. So I'm like really just questioning everything I'm doing. Why am I in this truck busting my ass for money that's depreciating, to pay extraordinary costs for shit? You know, I'd rather be in the Prius just being broke, trying to make videos or something, which doesn't pay as well as what I'm doing now, of course. But I don't know, it's just, it's frustrating, you know, when you're trying to win and everything sucks, you know. I'm just trying to figure out what is there to look forward to at this point, you know. Semi-retirement might be destroyed by the Biden economy, you know. And it's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking shit is what it is. Well, I'm gonna sit here for a little while longer in the cloud of bugs, and then if it looks like they're starting to go away a little bit, at least on my passenger or driver door, then I'll go in and grab some lunch while I wait for a new load, which, if the recession has begun, might not come right away, you know. Especially in the middle of nowhere, Florida. You know, I would think Florida's doing better economically than a lot of places in the country. But their gas prices are high here along with everything else, so I imagine they're going to have the same slowdown that everywhere else, every other state seems to have. You know? I don't know. I did enjoy my driving in Florida yesterday, though. I'm not gonna enjoy sitting in Florida though. Like, it's hot and humid. I have to run the truck all the time, you know, and I'm very cognizant of the fact that I'm burning a gallon of diesel every hour that I'm sitting. I'd rather be rolling than burning that diesel. So no fuel bonus for me this fucking time out. And I kind of am getting that itchy feet from, you know, for summer. Like, I really would rather be camping, you know, taking it easy, doing all that. And I know I'm doing this to be able to do that later, but I'm starting to wonder if I'm just doing this to do this. Because if I don't make good money out here because the economy tanks, and if I can't put that money to work to make more money because the stock market is tanked, and if I just hold on to the money, the fucking value of that money is set to go down another estimated 30%, as JP Morgan just announced. They're predicting fuel prices to rise another 30%, which means the cost of everything is going to go up another 30%. You know, it's like, if I'm going to be broke, I don't need to be in this box to do it. You know, I could totally, I'm a professional at being broke in a Prius. Maybe that's where I need to be broke for a while. It's crazy. I'm not broke yet, but fuck. Losing $800, it's hard to keep buying, I'll tell you that. Now, I'm in the market. I haven't sold off and jumped out and left everything in cash, thus solidifying the losses. So if the market rebounds right now, I'll have better days. But fuck, it's just hard. It's just hard watching my time, which is essentially what the money is a measure of. You know, I don't know, maybe I picked a bad time to hop back in the truck. I should have just stayed with what I was doing, you know, and that's gig economy on demand, you know, and I don't know. It's like a lose-lose situation for me, it feels like. I don't, you know, I know I'm being a little down and a little bit fucking miserable in this video, but I'm just trying to find the silver lining in all of this. Like, there's nothing I see to look forward to in the short term. I still have my long-term goals, but they're looking a little further away right now than I initially planned. So, oh well. Still no load. But at least I can eat unhealthy shit and get dopamine hits at overpriced prices. Well, I can tell freight's slow. So after a 3-hour nap, they got me picking up a load of pallets going to South Carolina. And then from South Carolina going up to Ohio. So I lost my load out west. They're sending me back into the Northeast. Oh well, at least it's money that I can invest in the stock market and watch it get pissed away. Yeah, so I realize I'm a little black-pilled right now with just the way everything is, but I'm trying to maintain perspective, all right? I'm going to keep plugging away, buying through the recession, even though my paychecks are going to get smaller as a direct result. I mean, you got to understand what's going on. I mean, I think a lot of you do, based on the comments that I see. People are struggling financially to keep food on the table and gas in their vehicles. When they do that, they're not going to drive less and they're not going to eat less, all right? They're just going to cut out all the other shit. You know, Walmart and Target just had a 30% crash in their stock prices because of a shitty earnings report, which basically people aren't buying plastic shit because they don't need plastic shit. They need baby formula and food and gas in their car, you know, which means they'll probably spend more time doing free shit instead of going out on the town and spending money and going into restaurants and all of that. They'll probably go to their friend's house in the backyard and have some fucking shitty ass fucking bottom of the barrel salmonella containing burgers, if they're lucky enough to be able to afford meat at all, you know. And the writing has been on the wall for this for a while, and I think we're seeing in real time that come to pass, which means a lot of stocks are going to just fucking crash because people are pulling their money out because they need their money. Because a lot of what you've seen in the stock market was financed. People got loans and bought stocks with the loans. Well, when you do that, you get the margin calls, which I believe there's a lot of them coming in right now. So people have to liquidate all their assets. That includes Bitcoin, crypto, gold. You know, when Wall Street marched into the crypto space, it essentially fucked it. You know, you would think crypto was separate from the market, but it's not. It's because of all the big players got their money in there and all the manipulation that goes with that. You know, the pump and dump strategies that you see. I see the huge wicks and the huge candles that pop up. That's not retail. That's fucking the big players, the whales. And the whales are winning. You know, they can move the market. And when they move the market, little assholes like me get a little bit jittery. And I'll be the first to admit it. So previously, you know, if you go back a few, you know, 3 or 4 months of videos, my strategy to beat inflation was to invest in the market. That was wrong. I 100% was fucking didn't understand what the hell I was fucking doing. Because clearly I didn't take into account the amount of a bubble we were in the market to begin with. And I thought that crypto was insulated, you know, that it made sense to my brain at the time that as the value of the dollar dropped, you know, that the value of crypto would rise. That's just not what's happening. Even with the shitty inflation and the 30% reduction of purchasing power for the shit that counts, not this stupid 8% bullshit. I'm going by the prices I see in the store. I'm going by paying $12 for fucking shitty fast food meal that used to be on the dollar menu. I mean, it's getting crazy. And I didn't take into account how much of a bubble we were in, and we are still in. I think the prices are going to continue to fall. You know, and the only thing I got going for me, believe it or not, is this truck. And it's kind of got me between a rock and a hard place. You know, I could jump out now and survive a while. And I think the company is sensing it, because I was told today, because I was a little pissy about everything that's happened so far today, that in the next 30 days I'll have a brand new truck, like brand new. Which will remotivate me, I guess, to keep plugging away, because that'll be an increase of quality of life out here, having a brand new truck. Because this thing's a piece of shit. This truck's a hunk of shit. It's functional. I've been getting the job done, but it's spent a little too much time in the shop with this fucking thing. And there are some things that are just shitty that that don't work good. They work barely. So, and it has none of the modern amenities that new trucks come with. Like, new truck typically has its own refrigerator with a freezer in it. Well, that'd be nice. That'd save me some money too, because then I could freeze some meat out on the road and have it, and then just thaw it on the days when I feel like cooking. That being said, that's all well and good having a brand new truck, but it doesn't do me a lot of good if the freight slows down, and I'm telling you, it's coming. I already see the signs of freight slowing down. And as that contraction in consumer spending, dials down to the essentials, which it most certainly will, there's going to be less shit to go in the box. And it'll be like in 2008 when I was trucking, and I'll be hauling grocery shit, which grocery warehouses suck. I hate them. It's the worst freight to have out here. They take 8 hours to unload your trailer. You have to hire a lumper to take their shit off. I don't know why. They're the ones that wanted the shit. Why don't you pay the fucking lumper? Or I have to do it, which I'm not doing that. They don't pay enough for that. So fuck that. I don't work in the trailer. I'll quit, for that. Plus you could get injured doing that kind of shit all the time. So, yeah. They barely pay me enough to work the 70-hour weeks that I do. But that's the other thing. I am pulling 70 hours this week, but it was a rough, low productive 70 hours. I'm not getting paid this time. This 70-hour week I put in, I'm not getting what I should be getting for this 70 hours. It's probably going to be $1,000 paycheck because of the short hauls. They don't pay as well. I've hit several traffic backups here in Florida between Miami traffic, Orlando traffic, and now I'm about to go into Jacksonville and face Jacksonville fucking traffic. Slowing down to 20 miles an hour. Well, when the truck's going $20 an hour, my average hourly is dropping, And then after that, Biden and Congress take their fucking huge ass cut of my pay, and that's not going to leave me with much left. And if I wasn't living in this box and debt free, I'd be hurting right now. I'd be like, fuck. So I guess minimalism once again is saving my ass. It's keeping me from hitting rock bottom, and it doesn't make me. I see other people that are going to be struggling financially because of what's happening, and I don't like it. And all of this was preventable. All of it. All of this is a direct result of Democrat policies put in place in multiple blue states. It's all a direct result of Biden's economic and foreign policies, and the Democrat-controlled Congress. And they just don't stop spending and printing money. And they're not going to. They're already probably drafting up their next $40 billion bill. And they're taking my hard work and labor and time and blowing it on fuck all. Throwing it over in Ukraine, which is losing the war. and watching our country fall apart at the seams in the process. But I think people are waking up a little more. I've noticed some pushback in the woke bullshit. Netflix is saying we're not going to be woke anymore, and they're firing a bunch of woke motherfuckers, so that's good. The Ministry of Disinformation, I just found this out right before I turned this camera on, is no more. Apparently, wasn't very well received by the majority of people, not to mention the trolling that went on as a result of that. But there's no more Ministry of Truth. So that's, there's good things, but I know there's a lot of suffering between here and the end goal. And I gotta have an end goal. There's gotta be a fucking light at the end of the tunnel for me to maintain motivation. It's really that simple. And I've been struggling this past 4 or 5 days because of the hardships at work. Things not working out as planned. I was really pissed off not being able to go to Texas, and now I'm going back to fucking Ohio and the Northeast region. And I hate trucking in the Northeast region. It's unproductive, pain in the ass. You get shitty mileage. Give me the long hauls. I'm an over-the-road trucker. Leave the regional shit and the short hauls for the regional I want to be home every night or I want to be home every weekend motherfuckers. Okay? People like me are doing this job because we want to be out there driving. We want the wheels turning and putting money in our pockets. That's the only reason to do this job. Because you're locked in this box. You can't really enjoy the places you're going. Like, I've been in Florida, and the closest thing to cool things I've been able to do was I got to drive through the Everglades. No places to really park in the Everglades, but it was a pretty drive. And there was a truck stop in the Everglades, but it was paid to park, and I was like, fuck, I ain't paying to park here, and not in a truck stop. Other than that, I just get rest areas, and it's like 100 degrees out, and I don't even feel like going out in the fucking rest area. So, thanks for bearing with me on this video. I've just wanted to share with you on, my bad days, and I'm having some bad days, like multiple in a row. And it doesn't help looking at my portfolio, which has dropped even more since the last time I updated you in the same video. My portfolio now stands at almost $1,000 lost. And I know it might rebound, but it could take years. It could take a couple years to get back to anywhere close to where we were, if that's even possible. How much leveraged fucking debt was in the stock market that's being liquidated right now? If no one goes into debt and the interest rates are in double digits to combat inflation, guess what? That means it's not going to go back up. Not even to its current level. It's liable to crash and stay there, not to mention businesses can be broken during this. So if I have picked the wrong stocks, which I hope I didn't, I did buy some Walmart. Let me go through some of that. What did I fucking do? Maybe you guys can tell me if I fucked up on my stock picks. So there's that. Let's find out. Feel free in the comments. By the way, this isn't financial advice. This is just the shitty stock picks I picked, which are all in the red. iShares Residential, REZ. So I got some shares in that, and it's dropped today 2.8%. I'm down 2% from when I bought it. But I've been in and out of this particular, it's a REIT, so basically it has dividends that pay out, but I'm also fully aware that the real estate is in a bubble right now, and when that bubble bursts, the value of this particular stock could tank. But because it's a REIT, I should still get dividend income from it. I haven't received a dividend payment on anything yet. This, next period's coming up in June. So I'm planning on holding a bunch of dividend stocks to at least get some dividend payments to chip away at the loss that I've accumulated. So I also have SPDY, which is a high dividend ETF that pays, 3.72% per 30-day period in dividend yields. So I've been accumulating that in anticipation of the next dividend payout. But that is down 1.65% in my portfolio, and it's down 2.73% today. But I don't anticipate that's going to fall until, it's not going to hard fall until real estate collapses. So hopefully it doesn't collapse till after I get my first dividend, and then I can pull out and then jump back in at a cheaper price later. So at least that's the theory there. Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble is something that I regularly haul. And it's basic products, that people use and need to use every day. So there's a lot of that, and there's a lot of food products. So, while there are shortages, obviously, people aren't going to stop buying from Procter & Gamble. They're one of the big companies that you buy your food and personal care products from and stuff like that. So it's basically beauty, grooming, healthcare, fabric, and home care, and baby and feminine products, and so on and so forth. Basically all the stuff you need to keep yourself clean and hygiene and, soap, stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't picture that going anywhere. The value is going down a little bit, but that's one of them ones I feel won't get hurt as bad by the recession, in my book. I got Vanek gold miners. I figure the gold miners are mining more gold, so gold is a thing. It's supposed to be a hedge against inflation, but people are liquidating that too. Imagine that. To pay off all their leveraged fucking debt because they got loans up the ass thinking that the market was just going to go up forever. So, yeah, a lot of selling off going on in the gold mine. All of my shit is red, by the way, except for one stock, which it will be at the end. Another stock, I've been trading in and out of this one, so it's more of a trading stock for me. I'm realizing long-term it's a risky one, but it's BORR Drilling. So BORR is the ticker for it. It's down 1.52%. Hasn't dropped much today, and it hasn't been falling with the rest of the market. So, and I noticed that, so I bought some of it. And it's very cheap. It's like $4.91 a share. So if it were to shoot up to like $10 a share or something like that, and I had 100 shares of it, that'd be a pretty nice little recovery if we get there. Walmart, currently on sale. I bought into it after it crashed. I believe yesterday is when I bought into it. Since I bought into it, though, now, it has dropped another 5%. I've lost 5% on that deal. It sucks. So hopefully I'm at the bottom or close to the bottom, but I'll probably continue. I don't think Walmart's going anywhere, mainly because there's nothing else in line behind it. I mean, yeah, Target, but Target's always been shittier than Walmart. Walmart is literally all over this country. It's in every town I go to, and could they bankrupt themselves? Kmart did it, Sears did it, but usually when Kmart and Sears fucked themselves up, Walmart was already nipping at their heels. I don't see any competition other than Amazon nipping at Walmart's heels. And there's certain things that Walmart can do that Amazon just doesn't do well. That's like groceries and stuff like that. And because of that and the tons of locations, I think Walmart will survive the recession and or depression. So as it drops, I will continue to accumulate shares of Walmart. Dollar Tree. Now, I'm kind of skeptical on this one, but it's up 2% today. Rest of the market looks like a bag of shit. But I've gained 2% on my investment into Dollar Tree. And because when people are broke, they're going to go to the dollar store for shit. It's a no-brainer. I've hauled a lot of Dollar Tree. I know during the 2008 crash, I hauled a lot of Dollar Tree. I think Dollar Tree is going to weather the storm. They might need to name it to like $10 Tree or $20 Tree based on inflation at some point. But the fact is, it'll still be the cheapest shit you can get. And I know a lot of budget-minded and economically challenged people love going to the dollar store to find bargains. So I don't think Dollar Tree's going anywhere, though. They're gonna feel as consumers pull back. But the kinds of things Dollar Tree sells are usually things that people buy no matter what's going on. So that's my thoughts on Dollar Tree. And then I saw this one moving on the market, and one thing I'm sure isn't going to change during the recession/depression is the government and the Democrats spending money on green energy shit. In fact, they're still pushing that despite almost, like, I literally drove by a Love's about 10 minutes before I stopped to make this part of the video and saw gas was nearing $6 a gallon here in Florida, which it was previously $5.40, $5.50 per gallon here in Florida for diesel. Diesel affects everything, people. Stay with me. But at the same time, I know the Democrats are going to print more money and throw it at green energy. And so when I saw FTC Solar, which handles the large solar arrays and has like little ways of aiming shit, I've seen them out in the desert. So I kind of, know that they exist. I know that they're doing, the optimization by aiming everything at the sun at the same time and shit like that. And they're actually going, separate from the stock crash that's going on. And it was only $3.78 a share, so I was just like, hey, if that booms, the government writes another $40 billion check to them, then why not have me, have my stock go up as a result of the government spending? However, that is down 1% since I bought it, but I just bought it today, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's a startup, I think, at $3.78 a share. But it's been around. Actually, it hasn't even been around 5 years. It's only been around by the looks of it, for a year, maybe 2 years. So it's a risky, and I will treat it as such, and I probably will trade it instead of hold it. Swing trade it, essentially, since I can't day trade stocks. But that's it for my stock holdings. I sold off my Microsoft because that's going to continue. Tech stocks are going to continue to plummet. So I want to kind of wait a while to see the bottom there. I sold off Twitter because, let's face it, it's gonna bottom if Elon backs out of the deal, or even if he gets a cheaper price. Why buy into it without knowing that he's going to actually pay 50? He's not even going to pay $54.20. I think the $54.20 is not happening. If he renegotiates, it could be renegotiated, down to $40 a share or something, which would be a good profit. But until that deal is out there, I don't feel the need to own Twitter at this point, though I will trade them, when I see opportunity. And I've made a few swing trades on Twitter to mitigate. Keep in mind, all my losses are with trading involved, and it's hard to trade a bear market. I've learned that the hard way, because you think you're buying the dip and then it doesn't go back up and it just keeps falling, which brings me to Bitcoin. Bitcoin. I've actually lost some day trades on this, so I'm not really gaining any ground. You know, I win some day trades, I lose some day trades, just because the market, it doesn't do what I think it's going to do. Right now, I am currently down 0.8% on Bitcoin, and I trade this pretty heavily. It's my day trading strategy. So basically, I'm keeping an eye on the range, whether or not it's hitting support. I think support right now for that, and once again, I suck at this, so don't go off. But I haven't seen it bounce below 28,000. It's consistently bounced off of that every time it's dipped that low. And I've seen it go up as high as 30,900. So I've been trying to trade in that range, and some days I make $40-50, and then some days I lose $40-50. Some days I lose a little more than that. Some days I gain a little more than that. Some days I make $10. You know, and on the swings, basically. So I'm kind of taking advantage of the volatility, but I don't know where the bottom's going to be for that, because, you know, there's a sell-off of everything going on to get ahead of the interest rate hikes, which are most certainly coming. You know, we ain't seen nothing yet. We need more interest rate hikes to combat the inflation that's out of control. Or there'll be riots in the street. You know, I mean, when people can't afford gas and food and baby formula, guess what? They get their pitchforks out. And as well armed as our populace is, I don't think we want that to happen. So I'm thinking maybe crashing the stock market and making some banks cry and some billionaires fucking cringe. It might be the way to go. You know, just saying. As much as that pains me, being that I'm trying to take this opportunity to advance. So let me know in the comments what you think of the shitty stock picks and my strategy. My strategy now is to keep buying. You know, I don't have much else other than food, and, you know, I don't have to buy gas, so that's not an issue for me. You know, as long as I'm out here, I'm not spending money on gas. I don't have lodging expenses. I don't have utility bills. So I can afford to invest heavily during the next year or two, assuming we're going to recover. If we don't recover, or if I make some bad picks, you know, I'm really doing my best to pick companies that I've personally hauled for, where I've been to their plants, I've seen. You know, I keep an eye on who I'm hauling for and how often I haul their loads. I still haul a lot of Walmart, so I feel comfortable even with all of the FUD that's around Walmart right now because of their shitty earnings report. I don't think they're going anywhere. I don't know how responsible they are. You know, maybe I could do a little more homework on some of these picks. But I'd like to think they didn't get to where they're at by being stupid. So I don't know. I don't know if they've leveraged themselves. I didn't see their debt to expense ratio being anything different than any other company. So I don't think they've over leveraged themselves and would face bankruptcy or anything. But I know there's going to be supply chain issues. I know that people aren't going to buy as much plastic shit from China. I know that China is fucked up with their lockdowns, disrupting the supply chain there. So all the Uyghur slave labor that's going on over there can't make the shit to send to Walmart, so then Walmart can't sell the shit. And not to mention everyone here is so busy, you know, paying more for fuel that they won't be able to afford plastic shit from China. So, you know, it's things are not looking good, you know, and I got to remind myself that for me, the light at the end of the tunnel is another couple years of semi-retirement. If I can just get through 2 years of trucking, then I could potentially take 4 or 5 years living in the Prius, traveling, doing the things I want to do, recover this fatness and health problems I'm going to probably accumulate from being in this truck. And, squeeze some more time back into my life, because this isn't how I like spending my life, It's not romantic at all. It's literally almost 24/7 in this box, with the exception of the time off I take at home, or wherever else I decide to take time off, which is good. I'm going to be taking some time off in other places other than New York, because I don't know, I need something in my life. I need some adventure, because this is not an adventure. This is me in a box, going from truck stops to rest areas to truck stops to customers. This is, I've been doing this a long time. 15, 16 years is it now? I don't know. I gotta do the math. 2000. Yeah, about 16 years, give or take the times that I've taken breaks of trucking, and will continue to do for the rest of my career. I'm going to take long periods of not trucking. My current goal, though, still is to stick it out with this company for 2 years full time, and then drop down to casual. So I'm hoping they give me the new truck soon, because that will increase my comfort level in this box, and I don't know, make life out here a little better, just a little better. I mean, the new trucks even have microwaves in them usually, so there's that. But we'll see. I really wish they'd hit APUs. You would think with fuel diesel prices going up to $6 a gallon that they put some fucking APUs in their trucks, but that they can't justify the initial cost for the fuel. I don't know. I'm not a bean counter, but you would think that would be a good trade-off versus the cost of diesel. So, oh well. What the fuck do I know? Because I'm not an expert. I'm just a fucking asshole. Please like and subscribe for more horse shit, and I'll make more horse shit. Please head to ScottTheTruckDriver.com. I just made my annual website payment for a website I hardly ever update. But that being said, I do send out emails from my email list, my free email list, which lets you know when I'm posting a video premiere. I premiere all my videos, so I'm live in the chat when I can talk to you. On the off chance I do a live stream, I'll be honest, I haven't been motivated to, and I kind of don't want to right now. But I'll get around to it, particularly when in the future, when I'm out of the truck and I'm more of a content creator and less of a trucker. Right now, I'm more of a trucker and less of a content creator. But if you want to keep in touch and algorithms are aside, that's the best way to keep in contact. You can even reply to the emails if you want to talk to me. I get the replies to those emails. So there's that. So I'm trying to maintain. I'm doing the best I can to stay motivated. It's really hard. It gets rough out here, and you're by yourself, and it's rough, and it can take its toll. But I'm gonna push on. I'm gonna keep buying stocks, buying crypto. Every time the dip's a little lower, I'll buy a little more. It's got to stop at some point, Although Peter Schiff says Bitcoin's going to zero. Find out if he's right. If he's not right, I'll be pretty wealthy. But it's hard. It's hard to put your money and immediately watch it go down, and you're just like, I might as well be throwing it out the window. It's gone. Bye, money. One of you even said to hold on to cash, and you're not wrong right now. I can't objectively say you're wrong. In principle, holding cash is a bad move during these inflationary periods. But right now, there's not much better options given the uncertainty with the economy, because you could buy stocks all day and then that company that you bought the stocks in goes bankrupt. Or you could buy, Bitcoin and it goes to zero, or Luna and it literally went to zero. There's people who lost half their net worth because they invested in Luna. I don't invest in altcoins unless I'm playing around, but I don't play around with more than like a few $100 if I do that, because that is gambling in my book. But I'm not 100% certain Bitcoin is going to survive. I don't know. There's a lot of fear and uncertainty, and I know that that's exactly what happens during these times, and I'm a victim of it. I'm just as susceptible as everyone else. You're hardwired to not watch your assets dwindle, and when I think of the $1,000 that had I just put cash in the bank, I'd have $1,000 more right now. To watch it go down like that, and then have in the back of my head be like, well, just it'll recover, and then you'll get way more than that on the recovery. Most millionaires are made during these times, the recessions and depressions. 2008 made a bunch of new millionaires. The 2020 crash, in less than a month, made people wealthy. I'm hoping I catch this one and it's not the last crash. I'm hoping to capitalize on the fact that I'm in a position to continue buying, dollar cost average my ass like Warren Buffett style through this hard time, and come out ahead of inflation, come out ahead asset-wise in the 2 years, hopefully, that I'm out here. But it's going to be a rough 2 years. There's going to be a lot of bitching. There's going to be a lot of swearing at Democrats, and people that vote for fucking Democrats, because I blame y'all for this shit. Sorry. You guys blame fucking whoever's in office whenever shit's fucked up. It's my turn now. Y'all fucked up. I would take 10 Trumps. 10 Trumps. I'd give Trump 10 years of a term just for Biden to leave right now. I would trade that. Can we sign me up? Can we do that, please? Because this sucks on every fucking level. And I don't know if we don't see a change in Congress this coming November to at least lame duck Biden. I don't know that there'll be anything left in 2024, no matter who runs. So, I don't know. All I know is, fuck Joe Biden. Fuck him. Yep. And all of the people that write his teleprompters can go fuck themselves. I hate them all. They all suck. It's all their fault. And there's always that one motherfucker. That one motherfucker is like, the president doesn't dictate fuel prices. The president controls the pen. The pen that signs the bills that print money over and over again, that gets sent off to things that do not benefit any of us. This is our hard-earned money getting sucked off of us and inflated through inflation and taxes to buy shit that is not going to better our lives in any way, shape, or form. It's going to better some corporations. Military-industrial complex probably see a little boost out of it. But you and I are still going to be standing in line in the bread line when it's all said and done. So, and all of that is signed by the president. Energy policy has been anti-oil, pro-green energy for a while now. And y'all are like, yeah, let's vote for Biden. He's a Green New Deal. Yeah, well, that was hostile to oil And turns out it's all a sham, you know. You pay $60,000 for a Tesla saying, oh, I'm saving the planet. Well, that's well and good if you make $150,000 to $200,000 a year, but us at the lower end of the spectrum, guess what? That $3,000 gas guzzler can still get us to and from work. We can't afford a fucking $60,000 Tesla, especially at inflation prices, with the supply chain fucked up. Hell, used car prices went up. You know, you're not taking into account that in order for your Green New Deal utopia, you're going to have to destroy all the poor people, essentially. You know? Unless you're just going to go and print money and buy a bunch of Teslas, Elon Musk could be really happy about that. Then, I'd say, and not to mention the power to generate. We don't have enough electrical infrastructure to even run your fucking air conditioner right now, and you expect us to turn all these fucking vehicles into electric vehicles? Fuck you for being stupid. And it's those policies signed by your president that made all of that fucking bullshit possible. And it's why you're gonna pay $6 a gallon for fucking diesel, average, soon, which is going to show up in all your food prices. So expect your food prices to go up another 20, probably 30% in the next month or two between the supply chain and the fuel shortage, because right now they would normally be accumulating fuel. We're actually lower in our reserves of fuel. I wonder why that is. I do believe that Mr. President fucking released some of the oil reserves recently, so there's that. So yeah, the president and the Biden administration and the Democrats in Congress and some of the Republicans, the establishment motherfuckers, basically all the establishment, is 100% responsible, more so with the Democrats because they're the ones with the power right now, for all of this. Could easily be stopped. Could easily be stopped at any time. There's no reason for it. People want to work. People want to spend money. People want to do shit. And we're doing things to destroy all of that. And it pisses me off. It pisses me off to the point where I have to swallow the fact that I'm giving the government thousands of dollars every month. And in return, they're doing this to this country. So, I hope it pisses you off just as much as it pisses me off, and that we start to see some real changes. Because as we see with the Ministry of Truth disappearing into memory, with a lot of great memes in the process, I'm hoping that that same pressure can be brought to bear to stop all the dumb, destructive shit we're doing that is going to bring this country down. Alright, I'm off my fucking soapbox. You got me in a rare bad day, pissed off, fucking 90-degree shit day with traffic all over the place. Now I gotta go fuck with Jacksonville and hopefully get back, to some rest area by midnight and shit. Have a nice motherfucking day and shit. And if you voted for Biden, go fuck yourself.